What is up, everybody? This is Rain. Welcome back to another video on my channel. This is the 29th installment of my Talking with This Rain series. I was going to say monthly, but this is really not monthly anymore, man. I haven't posted one of these in 2 to 3 months. God damn, bro. I've been very behind on YouTube. And, I don't really put YouTube doesn't really take precedence over the other stuff I have in my life. It's just something I do for fun. I like recording videos. I just don't like editing them. I like editing them, just not as much as I do recording them. That's why I still do this after however many years. I started in 2014, took it serious in 2017. So how many years is that? 6, 7, 8 years? God damn, bro. 6, 7, 8, 5 years, however much. Whenever I started this, if I put my effort into something more productive, like, I don't know, starting a family, I probably would have like 5 kids by now. But of course, I didn't put it into starting a family. I put all this effort into making a YouTube channel. And what do I get? This. Just totally cool. It's not, I'm making it sound like I hate it. Of course I don't hate it. I still do it. It's very fun to do. But anyways, again, with my YouTube, there's nothing going on. So I'm going to skip that part completely because nothing went on, except for the convenience store. I'm really proud of that video, by the way. That convenience store video, I'm really proud of that. That was really fun. But anyways, I'm going to go move on. I'm going to talk about real life shit because evidently a lot of stuff has not really been going on. But, compared to other periods, this has been pretty busy. So I've had exams the last 2 to 3 weeks, and dude, this semester has been the hardest semester I've ever had to partake in ever since I started studying university. Like, the reason why I chose such a stupid degree when I left high school back in however long ago, and chose a humanities degree, an arts degree, not arts as in fine arts, but like, you know what I mean, an arts degree, is because I was scared of semesters like this where the content is just really fucking hard. I study accounting, and accounting really isn't that difficult. I thought it would be a lot harder, but so far it's been pretty easy so far. But this subject that I'm having so much grief in is this statistics subject that I have. It's a mandatory portion of this course, which I really fucking hate, by the way. And I think I may have failed this last exam I have, and I think I failed the overall unit because I calculated it, and I just need this. I just needed to score this certain amount in the exam, and I think I didn't score that amount in the exam, and I think I might have to take this unit again, this godforsaken unit again. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it too. Like when I chose this unit, when we were choosing our units for the semester, I was so excited because in the previous semester I was really having trouble with my finance course. I think, in retrospect, I think I had trouble with that one because I didn't have any knowledge coming in to the unit. And so all the stuff that I had to learn seemed very foreign to me. But now in retrospect, I think I actually did need to learn those shit. And now I think I would be pretty well versed in that topic if given a little bit of time to revise. And now, now that I also have this point in which I can compare my time in finance to, the grass is always greener. And this statistics shit has been really fucking hard for me. And I looked online, a lot of people share the same sentiments. A lot of people who do accounting have to take on a statistics subject at least once in their degree, and this is it for me. This is my statistics subject, and my god, dude, that was a pain in the fucking ass to study for because one, the lecturer was shit. The fucking guy just overloaded lectures with a bunch of content. There weren't anything we weren't given anything to apply the knowledge to. The lecture was segmented really poorly. Like, the guy just fucking, like a fucking machine gun, just bang, 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 content after content after content, that it made it really hard to get the concepts down path in your mind, in my head. And that just really frustrated me, and so I had to take on a shitload of time doing independent study, trying to get this shit down because the fucking lecturer was shit at teaching. And I got it down at the start, and then I took a break to write up my other subjects that I have exams for, and then when I came back to the statistics subject, everything just fucking disappeared from my mind. I couldn't do an estimation. I couldn't do. I couldn't fucking do a hypothesis testing or anything. It just disappeared from my mind. So I had to relearn the whole thing again within a week of the exam. And once the exam came, the questions and the formula sheet were all different. And yeah, just fuck that lecturer, man. If the lecturer was better at teaching, because my other subjects, they could make do with so much content and such little slides in their PowerPoints. Meanwhile, this fucking guy would put out 70 to 80 slides in 1 week. Who the fuck needs 80 slides, dude? That just pissed me the fuck off. Like the average slides that were put in my other subjects, PowerPoints, it was usually like 30. If I was lucky, it would be like 25, 30 to 40. But this guy would put out 2 slides and it would all total to 80. And that just really made me angry week after week, to the point where I couldn't even fucking study. I just had to focus on writing up the notes so I can look back into it when revision season comes. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that guy became a lecturer. He was so shit. He's just doing his job, but shit, I pay all this fucking money, and all this guy does is put out all this shit on his lectures, and fuck him. I might have to take this subject again, but I'm gonna try to. I have something up my sleeve that might actually allow me to skip the subject, but I'm still gonna have to consult with the school for that one. But I have it up my sleeve, but I'll bring it up when the time comes. I think I may have failed the unit, but I'm still crossing my fingers that the lecturer was like, you know what, this guy has shown ample understanding of this topic at a degree in which an accounting major, should be able to understand it. And I'll just pass him with barely passing grade. And I'm happy with that. Fuck getting good grades in that shit. I fucking hate statistics, and I never ever want to take that subject ever again, dude. Okay, that's it with my school shit. Now real life stuff. I am recording this. I am about a week away from starting my summer program with this Big Four firm. Remember, I talked about this opportunity like at the beginning of this year. I think in my Talking What Is This Rain video where I was number 24. Talking What Is This Rain number 24. I think number 24. And I was really excited, but now that it's getting closer, I'm getting a little bit nervous. Like I live really far from the office. I live like an hour and a half bus ride away from the place, which is really, I'm pretty nervous about that because I made up the maths, right? I've calculated the maths in my head. So this is like 8 hours, 8.5 hours each day, right? So that's 8.5 hours taken away from my day. That leaves me with 24 minus 8.5. That leaves me with 15.5 hours. And if we take away, so it takes 1.5 hours to get to work, then that would be a total of 3 hours. So 15.5 minus 3 hours would be 12.5. And then, I have to sleep too, right? So 12.5 minus 7 hours is 5.5 hours of free time. 5.5 hours, which is, 5.5 hours, which is not ideal for me, I mean, of course, you're going to be fucking working full time. It's 5.5 hours is... When the fuck is 5.5 hours of free time a day ideal? I mean, I guess it's the best I can do. I mean, best I can have in this situation. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. 5.5 hours of free time is actually really good. Is what I'm trying to say. But I'm nervous because compared to my free time now, I take a lot of hit there. But also 5.5 hours is not inclusive of all the shit I gotta do, right? Like, I don't know, waking up, doing breakfast, and all this shit. Actually, that's actually a really good time 5.5 hours of free time, and this is not including going to and from work. So that's actually pretty good. So I just calmed myself down there, dude, because in the last week I've been trying to not freak out about, having to do this 9 to 5 job. I mean, I was freaking out about having to do this 9 to 5 job, and now that I'm actually doing the math, and that I'm actually putting it into words, it's actually all right. Especially considering what I did earlier this year, which is a job that required me to work 12-hour shifts. That's half of your day, so 12 hours, right? Minus 7. 12 minus 7. That is the time you're sleeping. That leaves you with 5 hours of free time, not including getting ready for work and going to work. So, compared to what I did earlier this year with that 12-hour shift job, this is actually really good. So I'm pretty happy. Now that I got some perspective, I'm pretty happy with this. Because 5 hours of free time, not including the time you're going to and from work, that's pretty good, right? I don't know. That's pretty good. Because back then, I'm acting like this was like in the 90s. But when I did the 12-hour shift job, I would come into work before everybody, and everybody would hop out of work before me. And, that was really demoralizing, like everybody would hop out of work, and I would still have like 2, 3 more hours of work when I went to work earlier. That was really demoralizing, like when I saw everybody go out of work and I still have this much hours. So, yeah. So, yeah, okay. I'm kind of calmer now, because I was freaking out about that. I'm still a little bit freaked out because this is a big four firm. They're a massive firm, man, and I don't want to fuck up. Even though I think nobody would expect me to do too well at this, considering how I'm new. But I'm still a little bit freaked out. Like, what if I fuck up? What if I don't know, I do some dumb shit? Because that's always been the bane of my existence. Fucking up at work and having to face the consequences. Because I remember, I always bring this up, but I fucked up at work this one time, and I put it in a Talking What Is This Rain video. Let me see if I can find it. I put it in a Talking What Is This Rain video, and I talked about walking out of work. I remember the clip that was playing in the background. It was GTA 5, and my brother and I were drifting around the Maze Bank stadium. Hold on, let me find this. Let me find it. I got accepted to my master's. Jeez, cringe. End of 2020. Oh yeah, there we go. Work stories. It's Talking What Is This Rain, episode 12, dude. That is such a long time ago. I get accepted to my master's. Man, I don't know why the fuck I posted that. Now that I'm thinking about like shit I did in the past, I did a lot of cringe shit, man. Back in 2018, when I first got to university, or first moved out of the house, oh my god, I don't even know if I want to say this. It's nothing that bad, but it's pretty fucking cringeworthy. And I would make these videos on my Facebook that would just be a bunch of clips of horribly shot clips, by the way, of me walking around the city. And I thought it was the fucking coolest thing. Like I would be walking around the city and there would be, oh my god. I am sliding down my chair right now because I cringe. Every single time I think about that, I cringe because it was such a horrible fucking video, and I don't understand why the fuck I did it. But I did it anyways, and it makes my fucking skin crawl that I did it. Should I? No, I'm not gonna post it here, but yeah, it was some horribly shot clips of the city with some music in the background, and I thought it was cool to post on my my Facebook. I just wanna crawl into, oh my god. Oh Jesus, dude. Okay, let me sit back up. Oh my god. I don't want to fucking think. It doesn't sound that bad when I say it to you, but if you watch it in the context of, how I'm saying it right now, you would cringe as well. Trust me, you would. But what the fuck was my point again? Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. So, what I was talking about before I got into that massive tangent, my main point was that I was afraid to fuck up at work. And I've taken stock of all the shit that I did in the past that, made me want to quit work. Like, in that fast food job, my problem was that I didn't communicate my I didn't communicate properly with the manager, and that made me feel like I was wasting time at work, and it just made me feel like I don't know how to say it, but my schedules and the work just did not fit, and that's why I felt like quitting at that job. My second job, the one that I recorded a YouTube video, that talking with string, the aforementioned video I was talking about, I fucked up there because I was not communicating properly with my coworker, and that resulted in me fucking up. And so, I've taken stock of all the shit I do, and that's also one of my problems is that every time I fuck up, I just feel like just leaving because I've always had this preconceived notion of work that everybody is good at work, right? Like everybody is way too good at this shit, and I'm coming in here and being a fucking burden and fucking things up for everybody who's been doing the same thing over and over again for however many years. And that, that just makes me feel so. It makes me feel intrusive. I don't like being an intrusive person. I don't like it when I force people to go out of their way to do shit. And yeah. So I need to one be more cognizant of my relationship with my coworkers. That means communicating well and also saying things that I should say and withholding things that I shouldn't say for the sake of me and my employment in that job. Another thing is to what the fuck? I forgot what I was gonna say. Alright, I paused it there. But my second thing is what the fuck? I forgot it again. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. So another thing is being, just being kind to myself about fucking up. I have a very big problem about, about the things I said, like fucking up at work and feeling like I'm a huge burden. I just I gotta fix that shit. And so I gotta be more forgiving of myself for fucking up because of course that shit happens. That shit happens. I gotta stop taking it so seriously and so personally. So yeah, that's my self-reflection. No therapist, by the way. I am my own therapist. See, kids, this is why therapy doesn't work. I'm just kidding. That is a joke. I am not a therapist, and therapists help a lot of people do stuff a lot better than me. So don't listen to me. If you need a therapist, please go see a therapist. I'm sorry I said that. Okay, that's it. Alright, let's move on to other topics. I want to talk about TV shows because I haven't posted a Talking vs. Rain video in 3 months, and I've ran through quite a bit of TV shows. I've finally finished Game of Thrones, and the last Talking vs. Rain video I was talking about Game of Thrones, and I hadn't finished it yet, but now I've finished it, and I actually didn't mind the last season. Not so much that I thought it was good, but when I was watching it, I thought it was alright. I was still very, very intrigued by what was happening. But now, in retrospect, now that we have a better season and House of the Dragons come out, I am a little bit more critical about that last season because a lot of terrible shit happened in that last season of that last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. And yeah, that was horrible, man. It wasn't horrible in the sense that it's the worst fucking TV I ever watched. I think it's an acceptable ending to Game of Thrones. But did it live up to its history of being one of the greater TV shows on TV for quite a while? I don't think it did. It kind of fizzled out into whatever the fuck season 7 and season 8 of Game of Thrones was. I didn't, but I like Game of Thrones though. That's one of my most favorite shows that I've watched so far because I like how again, I'm fucking stupid, but I like it when TV shows make me feel smart. Like they do shit that requires some more critical and heavier level thinking than what is normally required for watching TV. And of course, for me, being a stupid person, that said thinking in quotes means writing out the episode number and then putting the word Reddit on top of it on Google. That's what I do. Like, when I find a very intriguing episode, I write like season 5 episode 11 Reddit. Just to see what other people are thinking because I like having other perspectives when I watch these shows. I don't know, man. It's how I like to enjoy my shows. Reading all the discussion threads and all that shit. I also have been watching House of the Dragon, and at this point, I've fully finished the first season, and man, I'm so disappointed that there's not a season coming out in 2023. The next season is coming out in 2024, and I miss the show so much, dude. That is such a good show. House of the Dragon, if you haven't watched it, I urge you to watch it. Even if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, I don't know. I actually can't comment on that because I feel like if I didn't enjoy Game of Thrones, I would not have liked House of the Dragon. Because the reason why I liked House of the Dragon so much is because I knew like the stakes of the whole thing, like like why these people are a big deal and all that shit. But I don't know, you might actually enjoy it. As an entry into the Game of Thrones world, I think you might actually enjoy House of the Dragon if you haven't watched Game of Thrones. It's not that Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon are directly related. There are some overlap, but in terms of the plot of Game of Thrones and the plot of House of the Dragon, so far it doesn't seem too interconnected, except for some minor things that they call upon. But yeah, House of the Dragon is really fucking cool, man. Can you skip 1 minute, 60 seconds? Because I'm going to go talk about some spoilery things about House of the Dragon, okay? Right. So, that final episode, dude, holy fucking shit, that final episode was really, really cool. I was exercising. I always watch, the weekly shows that I'm watching now when I'm exercising, and I was hooked from start to finish, dude. When Arax and Luke were in that Baratheon courtyard, and they saw Vhagar out there, holy fuck, dude. That was fucking amazing. I did not know how big Vhagar was. Like, I knew Vhagar was fucking massive, but when we saw her outline against, like, the lightning, oh my god, dude. And then when Luke is thrown out from the Baratheon, from Storm's End, and is escaping from Aemond, and then, they do these camera shots, Arax is, like, flying, and then the camera pans up, it shows the belly of Arax, and then you just see Vhagar above Arax, and oh my god, that was fucking amazing. Alright, if you just got back after skipping, can you skip another 60 seconds, please, because I'm really excited about this show. Okay. And that ending, dude, holy fuck. Rest in peace, Luke and Arax. Dude, Arax was just a small baby, man. Shit. This show has actually gotten me to reading Fire and Blood now. I'm up to like page 300 of around 300 something of Fire and Blood, and I'm up to again. Spoilers if you really want to read Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. If you want to read Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, please skip 2 minutes. All right, sorry. Okay. So, I've been reading Fire and Blood, and I liked having some backstory to Aegon. Like they always talked about him in Game of Thrones, about how Aegon is this guy, and he built the Iron Throne. Okay, if you're just coming back from skipping in my previous notice, can you skip another 1 minute 30 seconds? Thank you. Okay. But they always talked about Aegon, being this conqueror, and how they based the year system based on Aegon's conquest, right? Like, it's like 70 AC, which means 70 years after Aegon's conquest. And having some background with Aegon, like he was one of the cooler rulers. He ruled all of Westeros, he and his sister wives, they were cool. And Rhaenys died in that place. Like, that was a very cool baseline for it, because the shit that comes after, like, oh my god, dude, Maegor, and then we had Aenys, Aenys, and then Maegor, and then now I'm up to King Jaehaerys, who is one of the longer reigning kings in Westeros after Aegon's conquest. And Jaehaerys' reign, it's sometimes boring to me. Like, because of course it's peacetime, everything's kind of boring, and also I want to get to the part of House of the Dragon. But there's some really fun parts in there, man. Like, like it's so peaceful, and then you would have these thrusts into your heart. Like, I just finished the part with Arya Targaryen. What happened to her? My God, dude, that shit freaked me the fuck out. I was literally scared. If I hadn't gotten some closure on what happened to her, if I hadn't looked up on Reddit what happened to Arya Targaryen, and I just took what the Maesters said and Fire and Blood as it is, I would have been more creeped out. But now that I've looked up Arya Targaryen Reddit, and a lot of people were looking into it, and they said it was like a fireworm, and they went to Valyria or some shit, and jeez, that was fucking creepy, man. That was some. It wasn't really, creepy in the sense that it's like, horror movie creepy, but like the whole unknown concept and there being something inside that girl, it brought up a lot of horrible memories of me watching this one particular horror movie that I really do not like talking about. It's The Exorcist. Yes, I really fucking hate that movie, dude, because holy fuck. I watched that when I was like 12 or 13. I was like, okay, you know what? We're in vacation. One of my cousins were like, hey, you want to watch this horror movie? And I was like, yeah, sure, we're in vacation. Nothing can scare us in vacation. And I got into like a quarter ways into the movie before we had to go home. And my god, that shit freaked me the fuck out for a good 2 to 4 months, dude. For like 4 months, I was scared to sleep by myself. And when I had to sleep with the light on or a movie playing in the background, because that movie just creeped me the fuck out, dude. Oh my god. But back to Fire and Blood. I really want to get to the part of House of the Dragon, because I want to see how the show connects with the book. And a lot of things happen in the show apparently that didn't happen in the book, and I've just had this. At the point of the story right now, I had the first tie-in with the... Wait, okay, I'm getting my shit confused. At this part of the book I'm in, I've just had my first tie-in with the show. Because in one of the brief parts, it said Corlys Velaryon was born. And that was the very first guy that we see on the TV show, right? I mean, I'm sure that we see Jaehaerys in the show. So he's the oldest guy, but the first ever mention of a prominent character in House of the Dragon, which is Corlys Velaryon, when I saw that, I was like so fucking pumped, dude. Oh my god, it's Corlys! Dude, I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait. The reason why I started reading Fire and Blood is because I just cannot wait 2 fucking years to know what happens next. What happens? What happens what happens after Rhaenyra finds out that Lucerys was dead? Like, I want to know, dude. I've read some shit online. Nothing spoilery, but I've read some general statements online, like how people say that both sides, the Greens and the Blacks, are equally as bad. So there are going to be some war crimes that are probably going to be committed on both sides of the coin. But I just can't wait. I just can't wait another fucking year, or more than a year, to know what the fuck happens, dude. I have to read this whole thing. Dude, and then, now at this point of the book, I'm up to, I think at this point of the book, Jaehaerys would be around 30, 40, 20, around 30 to probably late 20s to about late 30s, around that time. And at this point in the book, Jaehaerys has two. Whoops, I should have put my phone on silent. That was Reddit notification. But at this point in the book, Jaehaerys has I think two kids. But in House of the Dragon, we saw him sitting on a throne, and we had like a council who chose who was going to be the next royalty. They had to choose between Viserys and Rhaenys Targaryen. And so I want to know what happens to Daenerys and shit, I forgot Jaehaerys' son's name. I forgot his son, but he has two kids. One is the name Daenerys, and I remember that name because we all know Daenerys from Game of Thrones, but I forgot the other kid's name. But at this point of the story, he has two kids now. I want to know what happens to them, because the next king after Jaehaerys is Viserys, the first Targaryen, who is Rhaenyra's father. So I want to know what the fuck happens. Like, what happened to his kids? I'm sure they died, right? But considering how Jaehaerys is coined as the peaceful king, or whatever the fuck they call him, but he's the peaceful king, king of peace. He was the first king they had that didn't face any major civil wars or battles against him. I want to know what the fuck happens to his kids, dude. Like, why did Viserys become king after Jaehaerys and not... oh my god. I can't wait, dude. When I saw Viserys... When I saw Corlys Velaryon on the book, I was so pumped, man. I was so pumped. I can't wait. But I read Fire and Blood before I go to sleep, and that usually succeeds in me getting sleepy. I haven't read any books in a long time, dude. This is the first book I'm ever reading since I was like 12. 12 to 13 to 14. I haven't, because I read comics, right? I read the entirety of the Walking Dead comics all the way to issue 193, and I read all of Y the Last Man, the one with Yorick. I read all of that. That's a good comic, by the way. I didn't expect to like it as much because, it was like sci-fi, but as the comic progressed, like, it turned lesser, and it went from being, a more sci-fi thing, like you wanted to know what happened, and then at the end it was less about that, and it was more about the relationships that Yorick made along the way, and that was really fun to read, But I read those two comics, but before that I hadn't read anything, dude, since I was like 13 to 14 years old. But I read two comics, but I don't think comics count as books, right? I mean, I guess they do count as books, but in terms of like, heavy reading, which is no pictures or barely any pictures, I haven't read anything like that since I was like 13 or 14 years old. Probably 13 years old. And Fire and Blood is the very, very first book I'm reading. So, it's really exciting. I can't wait to know what the fuck happens, man. I can't wait to know what happens to Jaehaerys' kids and what happens after Lucerys is eaten by Vhagar. Oh my god. Okay, let's move on. I really like House of the Dragon, dude. I'm a big fan, dude. That's a good fucking show. Please watch it. Or if not, watch Game of Thrones. And if you want to watch more, go to House of the Dragon. Game of Thrones, the latter seasons of Game of Thrones, end really, really horribly. But please do not let that discourage you from continuing on with House of the Dragon, because House of the Dragon... Did you hear that stutter? House of the Dragon is a good fucking show, dude, and I really recommend that you watch it. Okay. Another show I've been watching is Mad Men, and again, this is one of those shows where I feel smart watching it because they do a bunch of subtle shit. Like, why did Dawn do this? Why did Joan say this to Dawn or that shit? And I'm up to the last season now, and I know that in the last season, Dawn's life kind of gets all fucked up, and I'm still in the early half of the last season of Mad Men, and I'm really excited to watch what happens. But I've already watched Mad Men like twice already. Yeah, I've watched it once, rewatched it again, and I'm watching it again. So I can't wait, dude. And again, I'm like really bummed, because Batman is one of those shows that I really like, man. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. I think it's number one, right? It's number one of my favorite shows. Yeah, I think it's number one of my most favorite shows of all time. But I think I might have to amend that list. But I'm not gonna do it now because just thinking about reorganizing my top five, top 10 best TV shows of all time list, I don't even want to think about it. There's just so many good shows that I like. The Walking Dead is my final show, and the very, very last episode is airing this upcoming week, and I'm excited, dude. The last season has been very slow. I would have liked it to be a lot more faster paced, but it's all right. I mean, it is the last season, so I'm a little bit more forgiving with it. But the penultimate episode, the one that I just watched, that was a good episode, man. Like, it was very high paced. The story actually felt like it was moving, and now we're up to the very, very last episode of The Walking Dead. Does Rick and Michonne return? They better fucking return. If Rick and Michonne do not return, I am going to be so fucking disappointed, dude. I'm just so excited. Like, I can't believe that I'm gonna see either Rick or Michonne within the week. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so fucking excited, dude. But that's really it with my TV show portion. I want to get to watching some other shows too. I have some in my backlog. I want to watch Cobra Kai. That the latest season has come out, but I haven't really gotten around to it. I like Cobra Kai, man, but it's just I have to be in a certain mood to play it. To watch it. Maybe I will be after I finish Mad Men. Maybe. I also need to get back into The Last Kingdom. I really like that show, but when season 5 came out, I just stopped watching, dude. Like, I just did not know what the fuck was going on, so I think that warrants another rewatch from the start, because when I started season 5 episode 1, I had no idea what the fuck was happening, dude. Like, that's how far detached I was from the story. And I also want to watch I want to rewatch Game of Thrones, but and House of the Dragon. I'm definitely going to be rewatching House of the Dragon once I finish reading the Fire and Blood, which is not going to be any time in the near future, because Fire and Blood is a massive fucking book, dude. It's like 900 or something pages, and I'm only up to 300, and I've only been reading it for a little over a month. So at this rate, I'm gonna finish it in 2 months. But I might fall out with it. Like, I won't have enough time to read it, or I just get bored. So I'm gonna be finishing that shit, though. That's my pledge to myself. I'm gonna be finishing Fire and Blood. That's a good book, man. I mean, I guess, Fire and Blood, it's written not as a novel, but it's written more like a history book. Like, it's a Maester's accounting of what happened between Aegon's conquest and wherever the fuck the book ends. And that's one of the main reasons I like it, because it states the facts of the history more matter-of-factly as opposed to dramatically. Although when George does write it more dramatically, he has this really, I don't know, subtle drama into it, but it's more like a non-fiction type of drama, right? Like when you're reading about something on Wikipedia, like you're reading about this portion of history on Wikipedia, and you really want to know what happens next. And, so it's like dramatic in that sense. And I think, if I didn't watch House of the Dragon, I probably would not have read Fire and Blood. So I guess House of the Dragon did good in that sense, right? Like, it got a lot of people reading George's Fire and Blood book. So, that's good. Alright, let's talk about video games now. I have been playing a lot of Total War Attila. I don't know if I'm going to post it or not, but I might post it. I might post a commentary video where I commentate over Total War Attila gameplay video, because I had this really good game where I was like defending this hill, and I was expecting to die because I was like outnumbered, uh, one to, I don't even know. Like it was, the ratio was really fucking bad, dude. Like I made up less than half, more closer to 25% of the total forces in that field, and yet I made it. I don't know about 25%, probably more like 30, 40%, something like that. As in power, not forces in the field. Like, my power was 40% of the overall power that was in that field. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but if you play Total War, I think that might make sense for you. If not, then I'm terribly sorry for my horrible, horrible description. I've also been playing some Cyberpunk, but I got bored of Cyberpunk. Because after a while I just started doing a bunch of side jobs. I didn't really want to do the main story. I didn't really want to proceed with the main story too far, so I just did a bunch of side jobs, and now I'm getting a little bit now I'm getting a little bit bored with it, which is why my main game now is Total War Attila, and I might get back to it. I just have a lot of games in my backlog, man. I want to play Detroit Become Human. I want to play The Forgotten City. I bought The Forgotten City. Apparently, this game is like a Skyrim. It was built using with the Skyrim engine in mind. Is that how they do it? I don't know. Apparently, it was similar to Skyrim. I also want to play Lake. Oh my God, Lake. Okay, if you don't know what Lake is a it's a postal delivery game. It's more like a walking simulator, except you're not walking, you're driving a postal van. And you just deliver a bunch of packages to everybody in this small town. And this morning, I was recording a Lake video, because I was hoping to edit it today and post it sometime this week. But the recording got corrupted, and I played this for like over an hour. And I look at my recording shit, and it's just corrupted. Like over an hour of gameplay just gone out the window like that. And that's why I'm recording this right now, because I felt like I did so much today, with recording Lake. But now that the whole shit is corrupted, I just wanted to do something else. I wanted to feel like I did something productive today in terms of YouTube. God, I fucking hate Bandicam sometimes. Like with Bandicam, it's kind of like a coin flip when it comes to corrupted shit, because sometimes you'd press record, and when you stop recording, it would just become fully fucked. I think it's when you change the game graphics settings that it fucks it up or something. I don't know, but it fucked my game up, and now I have a whole hour of gameplay that you won't see. You and I will not see ever again, which is really fucking infuriating, because I had some really good interactions in that game, dude. But it's not there, so fuck me. The Paynes Creek Killings is also another good game that I want to get to. I'm trying to cater more to shorter games, so I'm buying a bunch of shorter games. I bought, when I saw how good, what the fuck's that game called? The Convenience Store did, I was looking more towards games that gave people closure in one single sitting, So now when I'm looking for games to play, I look at Steam and I look for short games that I can play in one sitting, that I can edit and turn into one video, because I don't want a video to be too long. People don't watch that shit. Usually, if it's not a Talking versus Rain video, I want to keep my video below 20 minutes. If it's under 15 minutes, that's good. If it's under 10 minutes, that's great. But if it's like a game that I'm really, really excited about, like I'm really confident that it's gonna, it's not gonna waste your time and my time, then I try to keep it under 30. Because I watch my videos too. I go back to my older videos and I watch it, and if it's too long, I just click out. That's how I gauge whether people will like a video, is if I would watch it myself, because I'm making videos, for me, like I'm literally watching all these videos. Every single one of the videos I post, I watch. And so, I gauge my I gauge whether or not I want to post this video based on how much I want to watch the video, based on how much value it gives me. And of course, that's a very biased criteria, right? Because a lot of things value me, but it doesn't value others, which is, I guess doesn't really matter right now, right? Like I only have like 100 subscribers, so that's cool. It's not that I don't appreciate you, all right? It's that I just want to put out videos that I would want to watch myself, and that would keep my attention. The convenience store video, that kept my attention, man. That was a fun video to record. But anyways, is there any other game that I want? No, that's really it. Road 96, I bought that game. I started it, and I was like, okay, I have way too many games in my backlog before I actually enjoy this game. So I'm going to go hold off on playing this game until I get through the other games in my backlog. Okay, that's really it. I don't want to put a guitar video here because I don't think it really does anything. Like it doesn't. I haven't really done anything. In the last 2-3 weeks, I've just been studying. When I would normally play guitar, I would be studying. So I haven't really done that much progress with my guitar playing, and that kind of sucks. But anyways, right? I hope you enjoyed this. If you're still watching, which I don't know why the fuck you would still be watching. I decided to post this today. To record this today because I wanted to test out my communication skills, right? Like if you go back a few Talking with This Rain videos ago, I talked about how I make these to gauge how good my communication skills is. My presentation skills are. Sure, it's not really the best example, right? Because I'm not really presenting anything. I'm just talking to myself. But, after a while, like I stammer a lot. After a while of not presenting anything, not public speaking, and, talking in a, I don't want to say professional, but in a professional manner, I start stammering, I kind of lose my communication skills. And this is why I still record these, because I don't really do a lot of public speaking. And this kind of helps me get my this helps me evaluate my communication skills, because I started this video like I'm going to do a self-evaluation now, because I've been evaluating myself throughout this video. At the start of this video, I think I did really well. Like my sentences were flowing out really good. My pronunciation, how I chose my topics, and how I delivered them, it was really good. But as the video progressed, as you can see now, like I'm stammering, I'm stuttering, and I sometimes talk too fast, and it kind of fucks over my communication skills, which is kind of making me want to, my voice is cracked there if you didn't notice, which is kind of making me want to re-record this whole thing again. But jeez, how long have we been doing this? Anyways, I hope you have a great day, alright? I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed the videos this last month. The convenience store video was really fun to edit, and I'll go record another video in a couple days. Okay? Hope you guys have a great day, and I hope I don't fuck up at work, or I hope I don't take myself too seriously at work to the point where I want to quit after a fuck up. That should be the most likely. That should. See, again, I'm stuttering. I'm having trouble delivering what I'm thinking. Now I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. Anyways, I hope I don't fuck up at work. Not in the sense that I don't fuck up work-wise, but I don't fuck up that I want to quit after fucking up. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Jeez. It's just I fuck up at work, okay? If you just skip to the end and you're wondering why the fuck I'm talking about this, I fuck up at work, and it makes me want to quit. That's one of the reasons why I quit one of my old jobs, okay? So I don't want to fuck up at work. And if I do, then hopefully I am more kinder to myself. Hopefully I can evaluate myself in real time and be like, okay, am I overreacting by doing this? Okay, I'm overreacting. Let me take some deep breaths and, and get back into the swing of things. Because, I'm fucking new to this job. Anyways, okay? I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.